So I want to introduce everybody to one of my favorite celebrity makeup artists. She's my girl in New York City whenever I'm out there doing press or anything fancy. She does my makeup so flawlessly. And one of the things that I love about her is this technique she has under my eyes. I just tried to call it this anti-baking under eye concealer technique, because what I don't love about baking is I get these little fine lines. It accentuates my lines under my eyes because I'm really dry. And she does this, I don't know how she does it, but I'm going to find out today. She does this technique where she makes it and my eyes are flawless the whole day. I don't have any creases under my eyes, and I want to learn. And she knows I want to learn. So I'm taking this opportunity to figure it out. So anyways, I want to introduce you guys to Vjosa.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Sandra's followers. Hi, Sandra. Thanks for having me on. I love you, and I'm so happy to be on here teaching you and your followers how to do this concealer and setting your concealer without having to do the baking technique. The baking technique is really amazing for super, super oily skin. However, I don't love the baking technique for under the eyes because I feel like unless you're like 15, 16 model with no wrinkles and no fine lines, I feel like you're going to end up looking wrinkly, dry, cakey on the under eyes. So the best way to avoid looking cakey, dry, wrinkly is to not do the baking technique. You can still set your concealer with a translucent powder, but you don't necessarily have to bake. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and start. I have two different concealers here, but only because one is too dark and one is too light. So I'm just mixing for the color's sake. One of them is way too white, so I'm just gonna do the light one. This is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer, so it's full coverage. And this is the Dose of Color. Oh, the Jouer one is lace for anyone who might want to know. And then the Dose of Colors is 12 in light medium. So the darker one, I'm just gonna go right over it. So I don't do more than this, Sandra.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you guys all know there's different types of beauty blenders or beauty sponges. I actually love, if you guys don't know this, I feel like the really big ones are too big to do the under eye. So I really love the mini ones. This is a beauty blender one. It's super, super tiny. They have a bigger one.
I took it from you. This one was yours. You gave it to me and I kept it. So it's my little memento from you.
That one is a slightly bigger than this, but that one is great too. That one is like a medium size. So it's not as big as the big traditional size. So I'm going to go ahead and let me know if I'm blocking the screen since I can't really see myself. Is it fine?
Yeah, you're fine. You're perfect.
And now you want to go ahead with your beauty blender and just, I pounce. I don't drag because as you know, you're a dermatologist. I feel like dragging will stretch out that delicate area. So I just kind of like dab or pounce, however you guys want to call it. And I just do
pounce.
Huh? You like the word pounce?
Yeah, pounce or bounce. You should say twerk. You should say, I just twerk right here.
So yeah, I just go like that. And you have to be patient with your concealer. You have to really blend it all out. And also, you never want to see like that white line here, like here. So you want to take the rounder part of the beauty blender and just kind of blend it out into your foundation. So for you guys that are watching, I do have foundation on my face. I just left my under eye area clean with no product. But yeah, you just want to go around it so that you don't have that circle of white, because that never looks good. And then it doesn't really look good on pictures because it just makes you look like you haven't blended out your makeup. So this eye is done and it's blended. What a difference that makes. Like it really just brightens your eyes and it makes your eye makeup look way better. Yours is looking good too.
Not mine, yours. I'm still obviously I can't quit my day job because this is not gonna pay it for me. So but I'm trying.
Well, I don't want you to learn to
I know.
I don't want you to not have to use me.
Oh, I will never not use you. I'll tell you that. You're amazing. I cannot do what you do.
And then I'm just doing the other eye again, that pouncing motion, and then whatever's left on your sponge. If you have any sort of like blemish or a sunspot or a dark spot that you might want to cover, like I have these ones over here closer to my ears. So whatever's left on here, I just kind of go in that area where I want a little bit more coverage.
Sometimes I'll do it like right at the edge of my jawline. Do you agree with that? Because then I have
Yes.
the different, right? Because this is what, as you get older, you get the jowling. So I try to do a little bit there sometimes.
Yeah.
That's
And then also,
me.
you could also do the bridge of your nose to thin out your nose if you don't have a thinner nose and you want to make it appear slimmer.
I don't have a nose. So yeah, it helps me to have a nose.
Yeah,
Because I
I
just,
like doing that on you because you like it when I contour your nose. So I always do a little bit of concealer right on the center. And then that's it. Your concealer is on. And now we want to do the non-baking technique. So I'm using the Too Faced Peach Perfect Translucent Powder. It's just like the Laura Mercier one, like a traditional setting powder. And I'm just going to dip.
the one that you used on me before, this Prism Libre Givenchy. Okay, I'm gonna use that one.
You're going to use that one?
I guess that's the only one I got it after you. But what do I do? It's all like different pieces. Do I just it just mixes together naturally? Is that what happens?
Yeah, you mix the 4 pieces together. Yeah, it's just 4 really light colors to kind of give you like a little bit of pink, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of white. So I'm going to use a traditional translucent powder, and my concealer is mainly on one side of the beauty blender, if you guys can tell, and then I have the other side of the other side of the beauty blender that's still pretty clean. So I'm going to dip the cleaner part onto the powder, just really lightly, about that much. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start setting. So again, tapping motion.
Okay.
I have this mirror in front of me
and that's what is this doing? This sets it essentially, right?
Okay. So all right, I just wanted to set it before. I feel like I can't talk and set it at the same time. So what this does is it's going to set your concealer so that your mascara doesn't run into your concealer, your eyeliner doesn't bleed into your concealer, because most concealers are creamy, liquidy. So when you don't set it with a little bit of powder, it will crease after 10 minutes or after half hour, however fast your eye creases. And then you'll have those crease lines, and then you'll catch yourself like trying to fix the crease lines with your finger. But if you set it, you don't have to worry about it. You set it and you go on for the rest of the day. And like you always tell me, the makeup doesn't move, V. Like you did it so early in the morning, and I had all these shows to go to and nothing moved. And it's because I set the under eyes. If you don't set it, you will have mascara bleeding into your lower lid area, and you will have your eyeliner bleeding. So it's also
timing issue. Then you should do this fairly soon too, before you start animating, before you start moving around a lot, right?
Yeah, so like this one here, I'm taking too long because I'm explaining this to you, but this is starting to crease a little. So now I'm going to take the sponge with that product and just kind of blend out the crease marks.
Okay.
And then now I'm going to take a little bit of powder and set this one too. And the reason why you want to set it right away is because it will crease. And then you don't want to set your concealer while it's already creased. You want to make sure that the creases are smoothed out. Yeah, you want to make sure that the crease marks are smoothed out with your beauty blender, and then you go in and right away and set it.
Okay.
And that's it. We're done, guys.
How is it that easy? That's ridiculous.
It's that quick.
Annoying.
And sometimes if you feel like you may have applied too much powder, which in my case, I did it because I know exactly how much I use. But if you feel like you've dipped your sponge in too much powder, just take a nice, fluffy, smaller brush and just kind of do a little swipe.
Okay.
So technically we're still setting our concealer fully. We're just not baking. The baking would be where you take a huge, you dunk your sponge into the powder, and you take a lot of powder. So you see this white striped powder, and you let it sit for 5 minutes. Some people let it sit for 20 minutes, 30 minutes while they finish their eyes. And that's when you're going to get that cakey, drier, crepey look. So you want to avoid that.
Well, what is it that they're trying to do there? That really does set your makeup. It's like a super set then.
It's a super set, and I think it's just become like an extreme trend on social media.
So it's not absolutely necessary. It's just one of the things.
It's not necessary at all. And I'm here to explain that all it's going to do is just dry out your under eyes. Again, like I said, if you're like a 15, 16-year-old model
Mhm.
who has like no fine lines or wrinkles yet because you're too young, you can totally do this if you want to. But also, when you're that age, you don't have under eye circles, so you don't really have to cover
Mhm.
them. What I do like to bake, though, the baking technique
Yes.
is I I do like it when I have
You
customers or
poured it.
clients
You
that
poured
have
tap. Okay.
this.
Okay.
Yeah,
See,
I poured some
nasal
out. Yeah,
labial fold. Yeah. Nasal
yeah,
labial fold. Okay.
yeah. Whenever you have like the deeper fine lines, here I like to bake that area. So in that case, I would leave the product there for like that heavy.
Mhm.
I would leave
Mhm.
it there for maybe a minute, and then I would brush it off. This is like
So you
the only method.
brush.
Yeah, you have to brush this off. So this is actually baking. So this I will leave for like no more than a minute though, and then I brush it off. I feel like this is the only method to prevent your foundation going into that crease.
Oh, really? So
Yeah,
now when you saying brush, you're just taking that like regular brush and you're just brushing like that. You're just
yeah.
using that to brush. Okay.
Just taking a clean brush. I don't really have
And you
deep
wait
lines
like
there yet.
maybe like 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes before you do that?
This
Yeah, before you brush it off. How long do you wait? Before
on
you do.
my clients, because I don't have to do this on myself yet. I do about a minute. I only let it
Okay.
bake for like a minute. Yeah,
Okay.
because the longer that you leave that chunk of powder on there, the harder it is to take off, and then it's gonna leave like a white film. It's gonna leave like a white stripe, whatever you've left it on. So you just don't want that to photograph in flash photography to photograph
Mhm.
it back.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because you've seen that. I've seen that before in people.
Yeah.
They definitely. One other thing I would love, but I don't know if you're ready for it because I didn't tell you about it, is I forgot my other big thing from you, and maybe we'll just do another one of these, is as my lips. I love the way you overline my lips. It's not too much, and I have not been able to recreate it myself. And I feel like
Aw.
the stuff to use right now with me, but maybe I don't know if you
We can
do.
do
You
another one.
probably do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do another one some other time. That'll be so good, and we'll do it live, and I'll get to see it too.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Vjosa, for showing us this technique. It is so awesome, and I'm definitely gonna try it. I know I'm not gonna be as good as you, but I'm
But
gonna try my
your
best.
under eyes look amazing right now.
Well, I mean, for a moment, but last me in 3 hours, and for that's the difference between me and
FaceTime
you.
me in three
So
hours.
yeah, yes, I will. I adore you. Please stay safe.
Oh,
Please
I
stay
love you.
sane.
Thanks
And
for
next
having
time
me
I'm
on your Instagram, and I miss you, and I hope to see you soon and do your beautiful face again.
Thank you. I look forward to the next time. And the next time I'm in New York, even, I mean, no matter what, I'm going to see you. So we'll
Yeah,
have fun. And
let
the
me know
next
for sure.
time, we're going to do lips and twerking.
Yes, I'll
Yes.
make sure I wear the right pants.
Okay. Okay. You're gonna have to counsel me too. She's such a good twerker, and
I'm
I'm
so
jealous
not.
of her. So I've been getting ready for twerking. Let me tell you, with the food I've been eating, I'm like preparing myself.
Yeah,
So
because you need a little booty jiggle.
oh, I've got some now. Don't worry. All right, love
Oh
you.
my God, so funny. Okay, I'll
Good.
talk to you soon. Bye
Yes.
bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.